Kevin Givens, defensive tackle, MCL sprain, out for a few weeks. This is not intriguing. It's significant because Hassan Ridgeway's out with a strained pec. Javon Kinlaw's still out. Eric Armstead just came back. This is a position where the Niners are thin.
Hyder, what's the Hyder update?
Didn't get one from the PR.
So maybe
director.
he's okay. Maybe he's okay.
Yeah, but they're running out of defensive tackles.
They worked out Marlon Davidson, I think, the other day.
They're at that level. So, do you think this increases the likelihood that they bring back Kinlaw, or is Kinlaw just sort of independent in his own? He'll come back if he's ready. I mean, how does this impact the 49ers season and decision-making?
Well, I mean, it makes the need for Kinlaw to come back greater. Yeah. But the question is, Kinlaw, there's been, his ratio of games in the NFL to games played is not good. So I don't know how much you want to invest in that. And I don't even know if that's, I mean, he is a good player who commands a double team, has to be accounted for, can absorb blockers and just keep guy. He could be kind of like Tony Siragusa was for Ray Lewis for the Niner backers if he could be in there. So he has value. I'm not saying he doesn't have value. He has a lot of value, but he also has chronic knee injuries. And I don't know if it's how viable it is. And I I've been down there, but I haven't heard one word about his timetable.
That's the
or
thing.
The time frame for him.
I don't know.
Or
it seemed like when he first went down, he would be on the field before games, and he was close. And then it just seemed like the Niners just shut him down for 2 months. So, and they haven't really explained their thought process behind it. But Kyle's just talked today and said they hope to open his practice window next week. That doesn't mean they'll activate him off IR. If they feel like he's only going to play a few games and have to sit down again, maybe you want to bring back Trey Lance instead. I'm just saying, it's like the Niners have a issue keeping their quarterbacks healthy. They're thin at both spots, quarterback and D tackle. It's a conundrum.
Oh no, and not only that, Grant. It's a huge question, right? Mm-hmm. But I think it's also a huge question on both sides because the 49ers right now they're really good defensively in a lot of ways. But if you get to 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and you just want to run it hard up the A gap, they don't really have that guy who says, nope, we're putting up a wall. They don't have that guy. They don't have that massive 2-gap presence, especially with Ridgeway out. Ridgeway is a big man, so they don't really have that player. Kinlaw is that player. So, it'd be very enticing to try to bring him back because he does help you on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 in the middle of the field.
Real quick, Michael says, where do you think the Niners would be right now if they hadn't picked up McCaffrey? Monumental pickup. I didn't like the move at the time, but I didn't realize that the Niners were really not going to get very much from Deebo Samuel this year. And in retrospect, had I known, really maybe they knew. And now they have, if they didn't have McCaffrey and this news with Deebo had happened, their offense would be in a tough spot. They still have Ayuk and Jordan Mason and Kittle, but this McCaffrey move sort of cushions the blow of the Deebo injury big time. So
they got a lot of talent on the team, but I'll say this, go back and really look at it and all the factors. If they don't make that trade for McCaffrey, their season goes down the toilet. Why? Because most likely if he doesn't come to the Niners, it wasn't like Carolina would say, we're just going to keep him. No, they were going to move him, and he was going to go to the Rams. And then the Niners would have had to play against McCaffrey instead of play with McCaffrey. McCaffrey almost single-handedly won that Ram game. The Niners were 3-5. They would have dropped to 3-6, and they were going to get off the canvas with all the negativity swirling that your team that just beat you, that also beat you by getting McCaffrey, has made this trade and you haven't. They got a lot of talent on the roster, but I really think Lynch deserves Executive of the Year if the Niners go on and do anything in the postseason for that move and for the timing of that move.